here with Scrap and Abby, and I'm going to be working on my Foxy Fix Traveler's Notebook today. Finally, I'm so excited. This is the Lilac Beauty that I purchased. I don't have a name for her yet, but I have a couple in the running, so I'll be sure to share that with you. So as I'm kind of working on this, my mind is always working on how I can repurpose or reuse, upcycle, whatever you want to call it, other items into whatever project I'm working on. And for today's purpose, of course, it's my Traveler's Notebook. So this is one of the bags. This actually came, this canvas bag actually came with this notebook, but I ordered a separate one because I didn't know that this was going to come in a bag already. So I already have a larger bag, but I don't need this one to carry my Traveler's Notebook in because I have this, which I had shared in a prior video. This is from Pick Your Plum, and my Traveler's Notebook fits in here perfectly. There's lots of extra breathing room, so I can put some extra, you know, like one of my little accordion file folder things with like some stickers or different, you know, things like that. So this bag is going to work perfect for me for packing around my Traveler's Notebook, and it is monogrammed with my initials, so it works perfectly. So since I have another one of these canvas bags, a larger one, I'm okay with repurposing this into a cover for an actual insert. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to have to break out my little sewing machine because this isn't perfectly over to the side. Because what I'm going to try to do is just kind of mock or copy this size of an insert that I purchased from Foxy Fix, and it's, or excuse me, this is from Yellow Paper House. And you know, if this would be perfect like this, but I really want to kind of use the seam if I can. So I'm going to kind of come over just a tiny little bit. And actually, I won't be able to do that. I just realized that. Never mind. I was looking at it backwards. I was like, oh, there's not much room, but I'm looking at it backwards. Sorry about that. I'm looking at the viewfinder. So anyway, so I'm going to be cutting this bag down, and I think I might have it to where it comes down here. I'm not sure if I want this symbol to be directly in the middle, up at the top. I'm going to kind of play with that and see. And then I'm just going to use my little craft sewing machine that I have and just kind of sew this and then turn the cover of this bag into essentially this cover, and then I can use it to put in my own papers, or I can even use it to put on top of this if I want to. So I just wanted to share this with you before I got started. I will turn back the camera back on once I kind of get everything laid out, cut, and my sewing machine set up and everything, to kind of show you how I'm going to do this. Now before I do that, just keep in mind, I am not a seamstress. I do not claim to be a seamstress. I told you guys 100 times in my videos that I do not sew. I buy fabric and I can like sew buttons and do some basic stitches, things like that. So please don't look at this as it being some type of a perfection project, because I don't sew. But this is what I have, one of my little mini sewing machines. This I got from my niece, and it works perfectly. It works just like a full-blown, my other one looks like this actually, this right here. Anyway, it works perfectly just like a full-size regular sewing machine, but it's perfect for me because it's real basic, and that's all the sewing that I do. So I just wanted to share with you kind of a fun way that you can repurpose a bag, whether it comes with your item you've purchased, or if you find a bag shopping, or you know, one of the reusable sacks or something like that, gift bags, whatever, you can repurpose them to use them as covers or whatever project you want them to turn out to be. But in this case, it'll be another cover for my Traveler's Notebook. So I'll be back once I get everything set up and share with you how I'm going to accomplish this. See you in just a little bit. Okay ladies, so I kind of have everything set up, and I've kind of went through the thought process of how I want to do this. So I have my little sewing machine. Isn't this like the cutest little thing you ever saw? I think it's just so cute. So tiny. Things in miniature just really, I don't know, they're just very cute. So I was kind of playing around with what size I wanted to make this cover. So obviously when I have this one here in, I'll just insert it into one of these bands here real quick so you can kind of get the idea what I'm talking about. This, it doesn't show, obviously, you know, because it's a little bit, you know, less wide than the length of the actual notebook itself, or the Foxy Fix. So what I wanted to do was to kind of have a little bit bigger. I wanted a size in between this one and this one. This one is so beautiful. I bought these in a set of 3. There's a couple different prints, and these are beautiful. I got these from Marshall's. I just love these. And in my unboxing video, my second unboxing video, and I explained in that video why I call it that, I showed you how I had those in there, and it doesn't bother me that that little bit is peeking through, because one, it's got some purple in it and I love that, but I kind of like that. It doesn't bother me. If it was out any farther, it might bug me a little bit, but I'm not too concerned about that. So I'm not afraid of putting this particular insert into this particular size of Foxy Fix notebook. So what I wanted to do was to pick a size kind of in between for the size of the fabric bag. So I'm just gonna set this here right there in the center. And then I'm going to set this one down. I'm going to kind of eyeball where it's at, and then I can kind of see where this one is. Now there's a few different ways, obviously, you could cut this down to measure this. I kind of just like to eyeball like this. Of course, I can get my ruler out and kind of measure, which is probably what I will do, but I'm just kind of getting an idea of where in between I want this to go. Now I have decided that I want the seal to be kind of up here in the upper middle part, so I'm going to kind of put this up a little bit higher, and the way I can measure that is just by putting it off to the side, and then I just slide it over, and then I know exactly where that center is going to be as far as in the mix of the fabric bag, the canvas bag. I'm going to set that here like this, and I kind of want to be in the middle, as I said, so I'm just going to grab my pen here. And I'm not worried about making a mark on here because, like I said, I'm going to be cutting this away, and I'll probably ink the edges anyway. So I'm going to do that and just kind of put it here, and I kind of want it to be in between. So I'm going to kind of go like right about here, I think, because I do want it to have a little bit of play. So I'm just going to kind of put a mark right there. And then I'm going to come back to the spine and put a mark right here. And I know I just realized I did not zoom in, so I apologize for that. So I will zoom in so you can see before I move. And I'll kind of repeat this. So you saw how I centered the books, and then I made my first mark here because I want it to be kind of in the middle of this and that. And then I just put a mark over here, and I kind of went over just a smidgen, just so I had a little bit more breathing room when I go to actually, as a matter of fact, I'm actually going to go just a little bit further over. Because I do want to have a little bit of breathing room when I do sew this together. So we'll put it right over there. All right, so now I'm just going to zoom back out again, and I'm going to go ahead and bring this back down. Sorry, my craft table is such a mess right now. I have so many projects I'm working on at one time, but I had to stop so I could get this set up because I've been dying to get my Foxy Fix put together. So, and then now I'm just going to kind of go up here and just make sure, actually I don't need to mark anything because I got my marks down here, but I'm going to go up here and make a mark so I know how the length actually. So let me go up here and just put a mark right there. Get my pen to work, and all I did is make a mark up there, so when I go to cut it, I won't need one here because I have this one as my mark to know where I need to cut down. So all I'm going to do now is just cut this, and of course since I'm not going to be going to the edge here or on this side, I am going to lose my seam, but that's where the little sewing machine comes in. So I'm just going to simply cut this out, and then I'm gonna just run this through my little sewing machine. So I'll be back when I get that done. This isn't like anything you know, like new or anything like that, so I don't really think you ladies want to watch me fumble with this little sewing machine. So I'll be back as soon as I get this part of the project done. Okay ladies, I fibbed. I decided to go ahead and come back on here and show you, just in case somebody might be wondering how I'm going to cut this down. So I already kind of started, but you can see right here, that's the mark I made. So I'm just cutting across the bottom here, and I'm just going to go right to this mark here. I'm going to leave it there, and then I'm going to cut, let's see, actually, let me go ahead, because I think that mark's still at the very top there. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just cut this all the way off. Now, don't throw away your scraps. Keep them, because you can reuse them for 1,000 different ideas. So this is really cool. I mean, this could be the spine for another book. I mean, you could just put this over. I just actually thought of that. I don't think this is the right length, but yeah, a little bit too, yeah, let's see. But you kind of get the idea what I mean. Like if you cut, you know, had a little bit smaller inserts, you could put this as your, oh, look how cool that would look, to put that little bit of fabric over the top of your paper. I love that. So that's why I keep my scraps and everything, so I can always reuse those. And now we're going to go ahead and just cut up to, I'm actually going to cut over this way and cut down, just because I do have a tendency to sometimes cut a little crooked, so I do want to make sure I'm doing it right. And I'm cutting through both layers of the sack as well, or the bag, excuse me. And I'm to my mark, so now I'm just going to go straight down and cut all the way to the bottom. I'm trying to do this the best way where you can see it and I can actually cut too. There we go. I love this material though. I absolutely love crafting with burlap and like canvasy type bags. This is more canvas than burlap, but you know what I mean. And because I was holding in the air, you can see them off a little bit, but that's easy to fix when I trim. Not a big deal. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut all the way across. And if it's a little bit janky, that's okay, because you know what? That is part of the crafting, so not a big deal. And then of course you can keep this. I mean, look how cute that looks. That almost looks like it could be a flower. Isn't that cute? It's so cute. Anyway, I like to keep my scraps for that reason. So now, because I can still see my dot right here from where I wanted to measure it, I'm just going to cut straight up here again. And then of course I'm going to have that same edging that has the left, or excuse me, the right side of this canvas bag is still going to have that seam like the left that I cut off. So this is perfect. So I have two of these already sewn pieces together that I could use on different projects if I wanted to. So here are the covers basically, essentially. So I've got the front, which is going to be this right here, and then I have the back. So all I'm going to do is go through my little sewing machine, and I'm just going to do just a quick stitch down here, maybe two, I'm not sure, just so I have a little bit of extra strength. If you don't have a little sewing machine or a sewing machine of any size, you could just do a quick hand stitch. You could also use some type of like score tape would probably work pretty good. I mean, you have to be kind of careful when you pull on it, but that's probably what I would do. My first choice is to sew this somehow, or use some kind of liquid adhesive that would, you know, work. So I forget what that stuff is called. That's like fabric, but or like sewing it, but it's liquid. I forget it. But those are just a couple options you can do for that. And I'm just going to make this into a cover, and then I will just stick my pages inside here. So I'm probably going to wait on the sewing part until I decide if I want to use this to cover this one, or if I want to make my own signature out of my own paper. So I'm going to give out just a few minutes till I decide what I want to do, and then I will share with you how it looks at the end. So I'll see you in just a little bit. Hi ladies, so I'm back, and as you can see I have completed my Foxy Fix Traveler's Notebook insert that I made. So I wanted to share with you again what it looked like in the beginning. So I did have two of those canvas bags that I mentioned, and this is the larger one. So of course I didn't cut this one down because I wanted to have that larger storage bag. So the pieces that are left is this drawstring part here at the very top, which I've kept. And this would actually make a really cute kind of flower, or you know, you could add it to another project or something like that. So I definitely will be keeping this, and I will share with you in a future video how I'm going to incorporate that in a different craft. And then the two pieces that are left from me cutting, actually three, but one of them I used on the spine. I have this little bit here, which can be, you know, repeated. The use can be repeated as I have, but on this insert here, or I can use it in different project, a book, anything you can think of, and the same thing with this one as well. So I'm definitely going to be keeping those pieces in my scrap. So let me just share with you what this looks like up close. So here it is, and I've embellished this with some gorgeous items from Mona Me Gabby. Please ignore my fingernails. I need to do I need to paint my nails again. But anyway, this is the spine. So this is one of those canvas pieces left when I cut down the bag, and I used a combination of some different Tattered Angel sprays, and I'll share with you which ones I use at the end of the video. And this is just really beautiful. I love that kind of layered look of the different sprays, and this canvas material really takes the sprays well. And this is the other side. I intentionally took my Prima Distress tool and kind of frayed the edges there because I personally like that kind of distressed, kind of shabby look. And then it's also on the back side as well. And I intentionally made this front strip kind of not as wide. That's why this is wider on the back. And I love all those spots, those darker spots of the purple, just so pretty, because I wanted to make sure I didn't cover up the actual symbol here of Foxy Fix, because that was the purpose, was to display this. So I just added some of the Chinese braid here from Mona Me Gabby, some of their purple bling. I just cut some strips off and adhered it there using score tape. This is some really fun crinkle ribbon that I received in a recent junk journal swap with Crafty Come Lately. So I love that. And then here's the first page. So what I did is I took one of my vintage library cards that I have. It's the actual card itself in the plastic sleeve. These are from, I'm going to zoom in so you can see it just a little bit better. These are from a school in Oregon where I just moved from like the 50s, I believe. So what I did is I made my own custom little kind of page flag sticky note little tag. So this is just some cardstock. This is a 7 Gypsies, and what I did is I cut it to fit onto a piece of acetate, so you can see it's shiny right there. That way I could put a little bit of adhesive. I just put like a tiny bit of score tape on the back of these, and I just ripped off, like this is from my Lily Pulitzer. All I did is just grabbed a few and then pulled it off of the original thicker stack. The same thing with these. These are from Studio Calico, and then this is from my recent Chrissy Tomlinson Scarlet Planner Society kit. So I just put those on there, so I had a variety of different page flags and some little sticky note squares that I could use, that I wanted to if I wanted to jot anything down and put it in my book. And then on the other side of that little crinkle ribbon, I added one of the sweet little flowers from Mona Me Gabby. Super, super cute. So I like this. I think it looks really cool. It doesn't, you know, you can see kind of the outline on the cover, but that doesn't bother me. If it did, you could just put like, you know, another piece of, like maybe back this with like a piece of felt or something like that if you wanted to. So what I have in here and the rest of it, I'll go ahead and just kind of share the rest of it with you. The insert I made. These are all different pieces of papers and whatnot that I got from Evelyn in our most recent junk journal swap. So I will link that video so you can watch to see what it is that she gave me in that unboxing. So I just put all these together and the different layers, the different papers I wanted. This is the center, and I just stitched this down the center like this, and then I laid down some different washi tape just to kind of cover up the stitching. I like the way it looked, and then I just added some different tabs and some different little tip-ins and things like that. So this is just one of those vintage cards. I just flipped it open, and I will do a separate video showing each item up close, but just to kind of give you an idea in this video here, this is kind of what it looks like. So this is just a really cool way that you can create your own individual signature for your junk journals, your traveler's notebook inserts, anything like that, your art journals, that you can use just a variety of different items. And I think this is really cool that I use that I was able to use the Foxy Fix canvas bag that is meant to store your Foxy Fix notebook. I thought it was a really cool way to use it in a different way and make it a cover for my album. So I think that turned out really super cute, and I love the spine. It's got all the purple on here because I'm all about the purples, you ladies know, and you can definitely see the seal, and I think it's really cool. A lot of people don't like to showcase branding and things like that from like I have some girlfriends who don't care for Coach purses because, or Louis Vuittons, because it has their initial on it. That doesn't bother me. I love it, and I think this is a beautiful, beautiful graphic. And I think what I'm actually going to do is take some of my markers, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of color in little bits here. I think I'm going to do that. So I will for sure share that with you as an update, but just to show you what it looks like inside my Lilac Beauty, which I still haven't decided on a name yet. I'm still tossing a couple around in my head, so just let you know, but for now she'll be called my Lilac Beauty. So I'm going to go ahead and insert her into one of my strings just to show you how it looks when you get it in here. And like I mentioned in my Foxy Fix unboxing video, just going to find the center here as I'm chatting with you, I do not care or mind that some of my notebooks and inserts are going to fit outside the actual cover itself. That doesn't bother me. I don't mind that. And I think it looks really cool because now I've got this purple bling peeking out, and I just love it. It's so sweet. It works perfectly. And look at that. I've got some purple bling sticking out, and it's given this some really cool personality. So I'm going to be working on some different charms for my notebook. Are some of the glass beads I'm going to incorporate. So I, of course, will have a separate video for that. Once I get this all set up, I'll do a video for each separate component. So thanks so much for watching, and I really hope you ladies enjoyed my kind of, upcycling of the Foxy Fix canvas bags that you can turn them into inserts for yourself. It works perfectly, and I love it. I think it's a great thing. So I will see you ladies next time. Happy crafting, happy planning, and happy scrapping, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!